welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode. Now, you know what, you guys, this might sound really weird and whatever, but I am going to start renumbering the shows for the next little bit because when I started my show, I started at 100. And to me, 100 shows means 100 shows. So today is going to be 151 dash 1 or dash 2. 151 dash 2. Okay, well, I'll figure that part out. Anyways, so this is going to be like the second 151, but it's really technically the first 151. Well, yes. Yeah, it is because I'm at what would be considered 251 episode. But I've technically only done 150 episodes, so this would be 151. So this is going to be 151-1. And then once I hit, the 250-1, then I'm going to start counting it up from there, and it will be the correct number. It's just whatever that is. For some reason in my world, it matters. And it wasn't until just now that I figured out a way to deal with it. So unless somebody has another suggestion, then I am open to it. I can change the numbers. So I just can't change what I've spoke in every episode. I'm not going to go back and do that. Okay. Anyway, so I'm kind of talking about decisions today. And one thing I became aware of is that I've kind of had this, what they call FOMO, fear of missing out. So I was invited to go for lunch today with a couple of my kids. And I really, really, really wanted to go. And at the same time, I have a cold in my world, and I get the cold has to do a change. And there's this, and you know how you guys I've been talking about on my shows that I've not wanted to say watch the grandkids, because and the reason why I use them for an example is because they are something I would pretty much drop everything for. And I don't think there should be anybody in our worlds that we actually drop everything for except ourselves. And then from there, we have the awareness of the things that our preferences, the things that mean a lot to us, the things that are going to create greater for us. And I really get that, there shouldn't be anyone more important in our world than ourselves. And golly gee, even as I say that, there's a bit of discomfort in my world about it. And so I was invited to go to the city with them and go for lunch with them, and I get that it would really be fun. So is it fun? Now, what's interesting is that when I asked if it created greater for me to go, I got no. When I asked again, I got no. And then I thought, well, I'll ask a friend. Well, the friend they didn't know what my question was. They got that I should go. Then I have some angel cards that I was asking, and they actually say, one said, you need more information. Another one actually said yes to go. I played with them, and I was like, okay, this is really weird. So now one of the things that I've learned, and you guys will think, well, then why bother asking your angel cards, or why ask your friend, or why ask yourself if there's this inconsistent awareness? Well, one of the things that I've been really asking for is to trust my intuition, to trust my intuition, to trust me, to trust what is true for me. Now, let me just see if I don't know if I saved it from Facebook. There was this quote that someone put on Facebook the other day, and it was so good. And it was just like, I'm not going to question anything other than my own intuition anymore. And I'm going to kind of search while I talk here. And so like she's got trust yourself as one. I gotta see if I can. I want to see if I can find her post because it was just for me. It was such a good one that I needed to read. And oh, silly me. Oh my gosh, she's been doing a lot of posting. Okay, maybe I won't be able to come across it. That's so funny. So, anyways, what I noticed was the inconsistency. Yet, when I actually took the time to really be honest and true with myself, I actually could perceive what was actually true for me. And actually what was actually and what is actually true for me is was the idea of staying home. Now when I looked at it more, what I realized that I wanted to hang out with them, but I'm just not physically up, energy wise up for getting in my car, driving an hour, getting on the LRT, which is like a train thing in Edmonton, going downtown, walking around a bunch of people. Normally I have no problem being around people. And so that's kind of a little red flag for me. And but do you see, but what I was starting to do was I was like, well, it was like I was going to miss out. Like this was going to possibly never happen again. Okay. So I had to pause it for a second to cough here. Anyways, I found that post. What this girl wrote on Facebook was, my intuition is my authority. I no longer act against it, period, ever. And this is what I'm up against. So what's really interesting is with asking that of myself, what I then in my life, I end up being invited to, or it's like my inner being knows the depth of which I desire this. And then, so it makes it really loud when I'm not trusting that. And so then it's almost like then the cards do get confusing, and asking a friend will have a different result than me, because it's not ever about what my friend says, no matter how intuitive my friend is. No one will ever have the awareness for me that I have for me. And what if there is no such thing as ever missing out? It's just beliefs that we've bought. And what if, like, gosh, like there's even little things like this. Like, what if my kids that are going together, what if what ends up being created greater for them was because I was not there? What if I had the awareness to not go? What if it had even maybe nothing to do with me? Maybe I just had the awareness, it created greater for me to stay home. I trust that, because when I choose for me, that creates greater actually for other people. And so say they go there, and because I'm not there, they decide to go to some place they wouldn't have chose if I was there. And then say, like it could be something. They run into someone that they haven't seen in a long time. They end up going on to do a different adventure after that I wouldn't have wanted to do. Maybe they go somewhere and that they wouldn't have gone with, and they buy the winning lottery ticket. Like, I'm just using that to be like really expressive about this. But I noticed that, oh gosh, I could go all over the place with this subject. But also what I noticed for me with the fear of missing out thing was that it's like, do you notice the trauma drama energy? Like, oh my God, I will never see them again. Like, really, if you make fun of it, you go, oh my God, Laurie, you'll never see them again. You'll never have fun with them again. This will be the last time you will ever be able to go for lunch, go to the city, um, or see them again. Ha ha. You know, and then it's like, oh, okay, that is kind of ridiculous. And then there's the other part that I'm so aware of this self-care. And I actually did some tapping and some EMDR on it this morning on this fear of missing out. But I didn't want to be alone with me. I'm becoming more and more aware of me and my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions and how they're impacting me. And um, this morning, when I was actually doing some tapping on that, going, I don't actually want to be alone with me, I actually heard in my head, because bad things happen. It's like I would get in trouble if I ever looked after me. Well, guys, like, did you ever get in trouble for looking after you? Did you ever choose something for you and get in trouble? Well, if you got that belief stuck in your world, could you imagine how that would mess you up? It would create you, avoiding things for you. It would create, and that could be the part that ends up then creating the fear of missing out. Well, if I can't be alone, then I should be with other people. And so then you've always got to be with other people. And then if you ever want to be alone, it's like, uh-oh, I can't do that because that's against what I've bought is true. So anyways, it's so interesting because then after I'd actually chose that I wasn't going to go, I actually picked the cards trust and improving health. So what if this particular time, it is, oh boy, sorry about that, guys. Had to pause again for a good cough. What if this time for me, it is about a self-care thing? It is about improving my health. It is about, doing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 meditations today that allow me to really truly connect with myself. What if I was to do a meditation today and I connected to the source that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, that people have these amazing healings and awarenesses with. Like, people change allergies, people change their cancer, they change diseases, they heal from strokes. Like, what if me staying home today and being willing to tap on these points of view that I'm discovering about being alone with me opens the door for something incredibly magical? But if we don't ever take the time to really connect with ourselves and to really see where we're functioning from, we don't ever actually get to learn what's actually going to create greater for us. And so one time it's going to be going for lunch. And it's interesting, we had company over yesterday. And you'd be like, well, why'd you have company over yesterday? How come you don't feel like going out to the city today? Well, yesterday was yesterday, and yesterday created greater. And yesterday was at home, if I want to start justifying. Yesterday I didn't have to go anywhere. And it created greater by the fact that we went for this side-by-side ride with our friends who live in a town or city. And we go side-by-siding and we run into 2 out of my 3 kids and their families. Like, how's it get any better than that? So we have so many conclusions. I don't know about you, but I'm going to say I have had and do have still conclusions over what actually creating greater can be or is. Today creating, yesterday I was surprised and delighted by running into my 2 boys. So today the universe is going to surprise and delight me by staying home. And I was so aware that the energy shifted as soon as I sent the text, even though it felt like a bit of a battle to get to that point to send the text to my kids and say, thank you so much for the invitation. I'd love to see you guys. I'm just not up for the rest of it. And, I just have to put it as a side note too. What if I felt totally fine, 100%? And my intuition said, Laurie, don't go. It doesn't create greater. Like, would I be able and be willing to trust that too? You know, do we need to be sick or under the weather or have some reason that we know that we're aware of to not choose something? What if we were so willing to, you know, be like Brooke says, and, you know, step into that energy of my intuition is my authority. I no longer act against it ever. Like, what if we were to invite that into our worlds and see like the magic that that creates? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a subject we could probably talk about for hours. Anyway, so play with it today, see if it works for you, or, ask the universe to set up something for you that might be a little out of your comfort zone, you know and ask for ease with it, and then play with it and see what gets created for you. And I'd love to hear about it. So you guys take care. thewealthylala@gmail.com. Big hugs. Have a great rest.